Justin Trudeau has messed up so freaking bad that even the mainstream media is now looking at everything and they're going, I think that we're on the wrong team. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into it, I do want to encourage everyone to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet already. Does really help grow the channel. And just a soft reminder that this is Mr. Sunshine Extra, and I would super duper appreciate it if you guys showed this channel the same love that you do the other channels. Without further ado, let's get into this, but not before I bring to your attention the limited edition for a limited time Wacko Trudeau Has to Go stickers. They are linked down in the description and the pinned comment below. Now that that's been said, let's get into this. So CTV news reporter Vasi did a bit of a panel here with Andrew Scheer. Let's take a look at this. This is about the drug policy and the recriminalization following the overdoses.
Our party has been unequivocal in denouncing the policy writ large of decriminalization, and you've pointed to the increase in opioid-related deaths or toxic drug deaths in British Columbia to underscore that position. There's been a 5% increase. Their neighbor in Alberta has seen a 17% increase over the same period of time, and that province is vehemently against policies associated, more focused, I should say, on harm reduction. They're focused primarily and solely, actually, the Premier has said, on treatment. Are you falsely presenting this as a causal relationship?
Well, first of all, the numbers are much more stark. Overdoses have gone up almost 400% in British Columbia, and this so-called pilot project has shown what happens when you decriminalize the use of dangerous drugs like meth, heroin, and crack in public places. So we've heard reports of nurses being told that they should not breastfeed their child if they've walked through an emergency room where people are smoking meth. It's led to this tragic increase in overdoses. It's not working. And the government is unnecessarily delaying this decision. They haven't even yet said if they will grant the request. Basically, what Mr. Van Cloverdyn has said is that they've basically essentially knocked out two of those pillars. They've knocked out the harm reduction. They're increasing the harm because of the ease of access of these dangerous drugs. And they've knocked out the enforcement leg. So they've turned a 4-leg table into a 2-leg table, and it's tipping over. But
just to follow up on what you're saying, again, your conclusion is that the policy of decriminalization has led to an increase in overdoses and or overdose deaths. My original point to you was, in the province next door, where they are vehemently against decriminalization and have not pursued it at any level, the deaths there have increased at a more rapid rate, 17% to 5%. So what explains that? How can you for sure tell Canadians that you know it is decriminalization causing the increase in deaths?
Well, we know it's the decriminalization because the massive spike started when Justin Trudeau decided to decriminalize the use of dangerous drugs in public places. We know this because that's what the stats show, and we take the British Columbia NDP government at their word on this.
And I totally understand the public safety concerns that you're presenting. I don't think anyone listening or have been watching the stories would disagree with the assertion that a nurse should not have to deal with this on their job. But when you say decriminalization led to a spike, that after, as you put it, Justin Trudeau put this policy into a place, that's when things start to spike. That's not true. They have been increasing. Those numbers have been increasing since 2016 when it was declared a public health crisis, far before harm reduction became a focus.
There is an absolute increase since this program was put in place. Why would the NDP government of British Columbia ask for a reversal if that was not the case? The numbers speak for themselves. It's almost 7 people a day overdose in British Columbia. This request was made by the NDP government over a week ago in British Columbia. Justin Trudeau still has refused to take action. The big question is, what's wrong with him? Like, why? What else is he waiting to see? How many more people have to die? How many more letters have to come from the British Columbia government begging the federal government, the Liberal government, to overturn the decision before Justin Trudeau takes action?
Is it because Mr.
You don't need to look at numbers on a screen or read a news article or even see these people talk on camera. Go out into the streets, go downtown and just take a look at what's going on for yourself and look at all the homelessness, look at all the drugs that are circulating online. You don't have to go and try to buy them. You can just walk around and drive around, lock your doors, drive around downtown and look at all the pipes, look at all the needles everywhere, and then go back in time in your mind, or if you got videos or photos of just yourself living, and try to find the same amount of people with the same amount of drugs in the same areas. You're just not going to find it. Drug overdose, especially here in BC, has skyrocketed, man. Crime has gone up. Homelessness has gone up. It's absolutely insane. Our prime minister doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and he needs to give the A-OK to recriminalize hard substances and hard drugs here in BC, because otherwise, man, the epidemic is going to continue. It's going to get out of control. Speaking out of control, I got this other clip here of the same news anchor from CTV who's talking to the Polish president. Would Poland be interested in purchasing liquefied natural gas from Canada if it were available? His short answer is, of course, yes. And you look down at the comments. Germany says, yes, please. Japan says, yes, please. Poland says, of course, yes. But Justin Trudeau, no business case. No. We can't have our own liquefied natural gas. That's horrible. But we could sell it to other countries. It doesn't make any sense.
I want to ask you a bit about your visit specifically here to Canada. You mentioned defense spending. I'll get to that in a moment. You're here at an energy conference, and I have spoken to a number of other European leaders in the past few months about Canadian energy in particular and efforts underway in Europe to wean itself off of any kind of dependence on Russia. Poland has been largely successful in that so far. I'm wondering, though, when it comes to, in particular, liquefied natural gas, if that is a Canadian product Poland is interested in.
Oczywiście, że tak.
Of course, yes. If only Canada is ready to supply its LNG gas to Poland, we have got our LNG terminal in Świnoujście right now. It has got reloading capacities. We're extending them. We are extending the terminal. And we also have plans to set up another LNG terminal in the port of Gdańsk. If Canada offered its LNG to us, and if this gas could be bought attractively at attractive prices, well, we have been receiving gas from US companies. We have been receiving gas also from Qatar. In the same way, we would be ready to negotiate, to talk, and to accept Canadian gas as well. Even more so that there is an investment connected with one of the LNG terminals on the eastern coast of Canada, and there is our PKA Orlen, our concern, our company participating in that.
Everybody wants Canada's resources except our Canadian Prime Minister. This is wild. This pisses off so many people, man. I can't wrap my head around the fact that we could be not per se self-sufficient, but Canada we're sitting on gold, like quite literally, through oil and gas, right? Through liquefied natural gas, but also through actual gold. Canada is one of the most rich places and the richest places in the world with our minerals, with the stuff in our ground. And Justin Trudeau doesn't want to do that. If he digs it up, if he gets anything from the ground, he wants to export it instead of us using it, which would drastically lower the cost of living, and that would inherently add more jobs to our economy. But nah, he doesn't want to do that. Doesn't want to do that at all. What he wants to do is blame Russia. Blame Russia. So this, in the same interview here, you have, if Russia defeats Ukraine, will Vladimir Putin try to attack other countries? This is still with the Polish president. Let's take a look. Because for those who don't know, I believe Poland is a part of NATO, and we do have a significant amount of troops, Canadian troops, in Poland on the border, right? They're there, they're waiting. So this is a pretty serious question here.
When you reference Russian imperialism, I would note that one of the only interviews that we've heard that Vladimir Putin gave, he mentioned Poland frequently in that interview. Is it your view that if he is successful in Ukraine, Poland will be his next target?
Tak.
Yes, we are convinced about that. That if Putin wins, if Russia conquers Ukraine, if it grabs Ukraine, if it enslaves the people of Ukraine and de facto if it liquidates Ukrainian state as an independent and sovereign state while Ukrainian people decide about themselves, then it will want to attack other countries. It will be willing to come back to the times of the Tsar's Russia, of the Soviet Russia. We have no doubt whatsoever that this is their ambition. They want to subjugate other nations. They want to prey on other nations, use their strength, their work, grab their natural resources. That is what they were doing over hundreds of years in history. And as we can see, this trend is revived in the Russia of today.
So if Justin Trudeau, because he's threatened Putin in the past, man, he's threatened Putin. Little Trudeau has tried to pick a bone with the Russian bear, Vladimir Putin himself. And I don't think this is good. I think Canada should distance themselves from this war, from funding Ukraine as much as possible. And we shouldn't be placing all these bans on Russian products. Like, you remember when the war broke out and like the liquor stores in Ontario, the LCBO, took Russian vodka, which is, if I'm not mistaken, the majority of vodka off the shelves. We don't support Russian vodka anymore. It's just bizarre what's going on. It's absolutely bizarre. And it feels like the more NATO fights back on this, the more that NATO gets involved, the scarier this becomes. And these people, I'm sure they all have bunkers, right? That new series just came out, Fallout, on one of the streaming platforms. I don't know if you've watched it. I've watched that with my wife. It just feels like that shit's about to happen. Like someone's going to do something, and then all of a sudden there's going to be nuclear warfare, and we got to restart the human race. I don't know. I'm a little scared. I'm a little terrified. And I feel like NATO should just back the hell out. Ukraine is not a part of NATO. They've missed a boat. They haven't qualified, whatever it is. But we should not be this involved. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the war in Russia and what you think about other countries buying up our resources and us not using them, not using our resources ourselves. This is where we're going to end this video, folks. I'll turn you guys think down below in the comments. On your way out, I'd like to encourage you guys to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet already, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.